He stepped through the sliding doors, leather bag clutched tightly at his side. The world inside the terminal felt enormous. High ceilings stretched beyond sight, polished floors reflected every movement, and the hum of travelers filled the space. He paused for a moment, letting his eyes adjust. My word, so bright, he muttered quietly, squinting against the light. Ahead, his daughter-in-law moved briskly, heels clicking sharply, phone pressed to her ear. "Just wait here," she called over her shoulder. "We'll be right back." He nodded and moved beside a tall column, careful not to block anyone. His knees ached with every subtle shift of weight. Hunger tugged at him, but he didn't want to wander. He watched families hug, couples whisper arguments, a child slumped asleep on a suitcase. He glanced up at the departure board, blinking at the letters that seemed to float and blur. He checked the gate number, then checked it again. He rubbed his hands together, feeling a sudden foolishness. They must be sorting something out, he told himself. Airports were confusing. He tried to offer a small smile. It didn't last. He shifted from one foot to the other, leather bag heavy at his side. The ache in his knees reminded him that he was no longer young. Hunger gnawed quietly, but he stayed put, unwilling to wander. His eyes roamed the terminal, catching fragments of life. Families reuniting, couples whispering in hushed tones, a child napping atop a suitcase. He tried to calm himself, muttering under his breath, "They'll be back. They must be." His phone sat in his pocket unanswered. He checked it again. No call. His hands rubbed together nervously. Time seemed elastic here, stretching, slowing, each second heavier than the last. He felt a hollow weight in his chest, a tightness that made breathing feel labored. Around him, the world moved on. Travelers rushed past, trolleys rolled, announcements echoed. He tried to focus, but the noise only sharpened his anxiety. He took a careful step toward the glass wall, pausing to peer out at the planes lined up like silent giants. The sight should have been comforting, but it only reminded him how powerless he felt. "Where are they?" he whispered, voice barely audible. He straightened, straining his eyes toward the crowd. The announcement still echoed faintly. "Final boarding call!" His chest tightened. Faces passed, so many, yet none familiar. No wave, no smile, no one calling his name. The plane began moving away from the gate, slowly, almost deliberately. Grandpa stepped closer to the glass wall, palm pressed against the cold surface, breath caught in his throat. "No, not yet, please." His legs faltered. He sank down, bag slipping beside him. Tears came suddenly, quietly, unstoppable. He pressed his lips together, but a small, shaky sound escaped. He thought of the years he had worked, the sacrifices he had made, the meals he had skipped, all so that his child could have a better life. The weight of it, of love and helplessness, hollowed him out. Around him, people passed, some glancing, most looking away. The terminal felt enormous, empty, and cruel. Each movement of the plane seemed painfully slow, yet unstoppable. He wanted to reach out, to stop it, to call him back, but the glass would not budge. "I raised you. I gave you everything," he whispered to himself, tears running freely now. The sound of his own sobbing was the only reply. He sat there for a while, the terminal slowly emptying around him. The lights were harsh, unforgiving, but he hardly noticed. His mind drifted, carrying him away from the cold glass and the bustling terminal to memories that weighed heavier than the airport walls ever could. He remembered the first day he held his child's tiny hand, the small fingers curling around his own. He remembered sleepless nights, worrying about food, work, money, yet never letting his child feel the burden. Each sacrifice, each skipped meal, each worn-out shoe, it all flashed vividly now. A faint smile tried to form. He could almost hear the laughter of past birthdays, the clatter of school mornings, the whispered, "I love you, Baba," in sleepy voices. And yet, the echo of the present hit harder. The plane had gone. He was left with memories, love, and an ache that could not be eased. He glanced again at the glass wall, imagining the journey his child was now on, somewhere far, far away. I hope you know everything I did for you," he whispered, voice cracking. The terminal had grown quiet. The echo of footsteps and distant announcements faded into the background. Grandpa wiped his face with the sleeve of his coat, feeling the sting of tears but also a strange weight lifting from his chest. He picked up his bag, heavy yet familiar in his hands. Every step toward the exit felt deliberate, slow, a small act of courage. He paused once at the doorway, glancing back at the vast, empty terminal. For a fleeting moment, he let himself remember everything: the love, the sacrifice, the years of care. The cool night air met him outside. His shoulders shook gently, but he walked on. The sobs faded into the dark, replaced by a quiet resolve. Life, he realized, moved forward, even when hearts ached and planes carried loved ones far away.